Chaotically Nerdy is a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On today's episode is your host, Tyler, and
Jarrett,
and
Ethan.
Hey.
Why do you always sound
depressed?
depressed?
Well, it's
When
a
we do that.
depressed.
Tired.
It's a depressed and surprised that we got through it correctly. I haven't had to re-record it 7 times.
We've only ever fucked it up like 20 times. Come on now.
Exactly. 20 times is a lot when you have 40 episodes. So
50-50.
50-50. Yeah, that's exactly. That's why every time I get excited / depressed because it actually works out. On today's episode, we are going to talk about the new game, Hogwarts Legacy. It actually just came out like last Friday. It came out the 10th. Today is the 19th. It's been almost 10 days.
It came out like the 7th if you had the
Well, yeah, if you had the
digital
deluxe edition, but
deluxe edition,
which I did.
which I did.
But you didn't get to play it.
Didn't get to, I had it downloaded by the 10th.
Ethan,
God damn it.
Did you play the deluxe edition?
No.
You
Why
just
would I
waited.
buy the deluxe edition? It didn't actually give anything extra.
You just get to play it 3 days early.
Yeah, that's the only reason I bought it, so I could play it
I
early.
wasn't going to play it 3 days early.
I was.
I did it so I could legitimately just get it and then be like, maybe could have played it like the 9th
Well,
or the 8th.
your schedule's a bit more tight now. So
Not really. It was more like a download and then like also a timing thing, but it had nothing to do with like my work schedule. It had to do with like
I work on weekends. So
personal
it's
stuff.
like I wasn't going to play it 3 days early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to discuss how many hours we have in the game. I'll start with me. I'm roughly like 25 hours into the game. I think I'm in the 3rd act as of right now.
What level are you?
I am level 31, roughly.
I'm not in the 3rd act.
I say I'm in the 3rd act because you start, it's kind of like summary, like about. The 2nd act is fall, and they've got all the pumpkins and all that shit. The 3rd act is winter, and I don't remember it changing to a different act, so I would assume I'm still in the 3rd.
I mean, I guess it's late summer, but they start on September 1st. So,
Yes,
you know,
but
Yeah.
they have an obvious change to fall.
I have not got there yet. Then
Like it's not as green.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's like,
Well, I'm not in 2nd act then.
it's more of your like autumn colors. It's
Yeah.
more orange. There's, like I said, there's pumpkins everywhere.
There's pumpkins in the
They-
1st act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean like decorated pumpkins,
Oh.
no, not just like pumpkins
Yeah.
that grow.
if I remember right.
Well, Halloween's a big deal.
Yeah.
In the Hogwarts world. So
Yeah,
Jarrett, how many hours do you have in it?
7-ish.
Okay. So
I'm
not
like
very much.
level 11 or 12.
Okay.
I just finished the flying class.
Gotcha. So you're still pretty early. And then
I'm around 18 to 20 hours. I just finished the flying class. I have done a lot of exploring. I get lost in the exploring, so I'm like, hey, this is wonderful. What am I looking at? Yeah.
so recommendation that I'm going to give right off the bat, since I don't think you've gotten far enough to get it, and I know he hasn't gotten far enough to get it. As soon as you are able to unlock Aloha Mora,
I'm waiting for that. I
as
want
soon
this.
as you can open those locks, go and find all the, like, look up a guide. I think you need 22 demiguise statues. So there's these little statues that it has to be nighttime. You collect the moon and you give them to the janitor. I'm telling you this because it's a side quest. It's not important. After you give him 9 and 13, which, if my math was right, ends up to be 22.
It does.
That's how many of those moons that you need to give him. He will teach you level 2 and 3 for the unlocks. So then you can unlock 2 and 3. And then you can unlock everything. That's as far as you have to go in that storyline. Do that first because you have nothing that will stop you at that point. I went and did like a few extra things and I missed out on some chests in one area because of that. I think I could go back and get it. I just probably won't because I've forgot where it was. but it's just a tiny tip. So now, what difficulty is everybody playing on, and why? So
Let's
why.
Let's go with the lowest here, bud.
It's me.
Yeah.
I'm playing on story because one, it's fun. I like to feel like a god, for one. I mean, there's nobody that has even given me a slight trouble.
Have you died at all?
No.
Okay. I was just asking.
That's a lie. I have died, but it's because I glitched through the world and I fell to my death. I was running around Hogwarts exploring and it glitched me through and I literally fell.
I feel like that's something that would happen at Hogwarts, though.
Yeah.
You just get swallowed up by a staircase and you're dead.
The other thing is, if you play on story mode, whenever you use Aloha Mora, you don't actually have to do the little mini game to unlock the things.
Don't have Aloha Mora yet, so I
know.
But it makes sense. There's surprise some like lock picking game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a lock picking game, and it's super easy. But I can just hit F and it auto solves for me on any difficulty, and that makes it feel like it's more
magic.
Yes, because it's literally just Aloha Mora F. I'm in. So that's why I like that. Jarrett, what are you
playing on normal because
Gotcha.
I'm not a bitch.
That doesn't bother me at all.
Speaking of bitches, I feel like one because I started on hard.
Yeah,
you had to downgrade it.
I got to the final thing for the dueling club, where you have to face off against 2v4, and I had to downgrade it to normal
because you were having issues with the shielding.
Right.
Correct. It doesn't give you. Yeah, I didn't know this.
It doesn't give you the prompt.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It doesn't give you prompts. It doesn't give you the prompt for the Protego, is what it is.
Yeah.
So the shielding prompt, there's no prompt for that. I was able to get pretty successful at it, but I just wasn't able to quite finish it. But I immediately turned it back to hard, and I went back out and did some more exploring, but I started facing off against harder dark wizards and stuff. And I was just like, I just really want the functionality of having the indicator for the Protego.
Yeah. Well, especially because like if you're surrounded, like there's times where you are surrounded by people.
It's not that you're surrounded realistically. It's just you get in the middle, like you'll dodge roll or something into them.
Well, especially when you get
they'll start moving and shit.
Especially once you get the blink.
Yeah.
Where you dodge roll and then it takes you it transports you a lot farther away.
Yes.
You can get very displaced mentally in the world.
Absolutely.
It'd be hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
Who's casting a spell from where to get your
and some of them will be like in the middle of trying to cast a spell. You can blink and they'll still be casting it and they will try to hit you.
Yeah.
Also, you talk about me being I play everything on story mode. Like if it's a story game, I play it on the easiest.
You're not impressing anybody on a single player game.
Exactly.
Playing hard mode. I mean, I just like a little bit extra challenge on the hard, but it was just like, whatever.
This game, I don't feel like I need I don't feel.
If it's too easy, I'll quit though.
Well, see, it's mostly
I will have less fun. I'll lose my interest.
See, it's fun for me to just go around.
I need a little bit of challenge, like where I'm not like a god.
But see, I found that the interest for me in Hogwarts Legacy isn't really like the combat's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's really fun. But it was the puzzles.
Yeah,
it's a big puzzle game, is what it is, and I really enjoy puzzle games like Zelda and stuff. So that was it for me.
Gotcha.
I didn't have to have it.
And now on to the next section. What house did we pick and why? I'm rolling the dice on this one. Ethan.
I didn't pick the house. The house picked me.
So you used the Wizarding World
But I still got the one that I always got on Pottermore.
No, he didn't use the word. He just did the
two questions.
Oh,
and then
did you connect your Wizarding World?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that functionality is really quite available yet, is it? I didn't
because you get specific stuff if you connect it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I need to do that then.
Yeah, because when I went to get my wand, it gave me the exact wand that I had on Pottermore.
Oh. You were like, no.
Yeah, you can change it, and it also did
I just set up the same wand that I had on Pottermore anyway.
Yeah,
so
I don't remember what my wand on Pottermore.
It's Hawthorne 11 3/4 with a unicorn hair.
Mine is Rowan 10 3/4.
Mine's very bendy.
Mine's reasonably supple, and unicorn hair as well. But I switched to Dragon Heartstring, and I switched to a harder wood for some reason.
Well, I find that the Pottermore thing is fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so I just answered the two questions, and then it asked me if I wanted to change, but I had already gotten Slytherin, So
You just left it.
I just left it.
Okay. It's you, Jarrett.
I'm the basic bitch in this one. I'm
You're Gryffindor. I knew it.
Cool. You get the most side quests.
That is true.
Yeah.
You do get the. We're going to talk about the differences in the houses here in a second.
So, for my one, I think I picked like my favorite wood, which is black walnut. I think it's a really pretty looking wood, but there's no real mechanical differences in
No,
your wand,
absolutely
so it
not.
doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah, I picked mine specifically off of look.
I do have like the Tanjiro handle. It's literally black and green checkered board.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
That's why I see it. I'm like, that's a Tanjiro handle because
Yeah.
it's the same fucking pattern and color as his fucking jacket.
So the reason I ask about if you did the like attaching the Wizarding World, I did, and I answered the 2 questions, and it gave me Ravenclaw. My Wizarding World that I attached was Ravenclaw, is what
Like,
it said.
Fuck that! I want to be a sneaky snake.
It's 100% what I did. So that's why I didn't know if you attached that. And
So you picked Slytherin.
yeah, I did pick
Oh, yeah.
Slytherin.
Got a pair of sneaky snakes.
I picked Slytherin because not knowing anything about the game, I was like, if I pick Slytherin, maybe I'll get to the dark arts faster. That doesn't fucking matter.
Though it was concerning. Like one of the first students you meet is a Gaunt. I don't know if you know what that means.
Yes,
Okay.
they're direct descendants of Salazar
Yeah,
Slytherin.
yeah, and the ancestors of Voldemort.
Sneaky snake.
Yeah. I did have a question about that. How is the Gryffindor common room? Because I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's exactly how I imagine it in my head. Like it's all red and gold, big ass staircases. You can't go up the girls one.
You can't go in any of them.
Yeah.
You can't go.
I know.
There's
It's just confusing because there's no indication which is which. I just tried to run up a staircase and it
yeah,
was like
and it just slides you back down.
See, that's what's nice about the Slytherin is because the girls has a staircase, the boys doesn't.
yeah, it's
just
all flat.
But
I really like the Slytherin common
I do
room.
too.
It's beautiful.
Did you know that if you go up to the windows, like where the lake is,
Mm-hmm.
and you basic cast on the windows, the squid will smack the side of the windows?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, the squid is alarming.
Yeah.
It is massive.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is massive. But it's nice in the Slytherin common room because the windows are under the lake.
Yeah.
And like the domes up top are under the lake.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. The green marbles.
It really is.
Pretty.
I almost wish we had somebody from like Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff here.
I'm gonna have to
I mean,
make
you
a
can
new
go look
character.
them up, like what they look
I-
like. But
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make another character
Yeah, I'm saying
and
good.
force it into Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. Well, I know Hufflepuff is by the kitchens.
Yeah.
Well, I actually went to like where Hufflepuff is and tried to figure out if I could, like a way to get in, and
But the thing keeps squirting at you.
yes,
Yeah.
it wouldn't let me because I know exactly what barrel it is.
Yeah.
and it just kept squirting at me, being like, "You're not allowed in here."
fuck off.
So the differences in the houses for in-game. Obviously, they all get their own common room.
Yep.
Gryffindor has the most amount of side quests,
Yep.
which I don't know that. I don't think when it comes to the actual like story side quests, so like Poppy, Natsai, and Sebastian.
Yeah.
I don't think those 3 will change for any of them.
No.
I think it's more like when you're out about in the world,
Yeah.
it will change some. Which at that point, who cares?
Yeah. So I guess it's just more potential for XP, I guess, and getting.
That's really
Yeah.
what it is.
Ravenclaw has the least amount.
Yeah, because they're bookworms. They put their nose in the book all the time.
Yeah,
Never
they're too
leave.
busy to help anybody. They're too busy reading. Hufflepuff has a specific one. They get to go to Azkaban. They're
It's
the
fucking awesome.
yeah. And
really-
apparently it is super super early. It's like 5 hours in.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to, if you wanted to like just replay or
And
do a
do it.
second playthrough, you could get there fairly quickly.
Most likely will.
From what I've read / seen. And then Slytherin is kind of that like middle ground. I think they're, I mean, obviously they're just a step below Gryffindor as far as side quests, but there's no real changes in any of the gameplay besides side quests.
There's like
It's going to be the exact same story.
well, me and Ethan were discussing it. There are some slight modifications.
So, like, whenever you go and you find the magic book thing
map room.
at the beginning, for when you first discover the map room,
Yeah.
you get led there by the ghost, the boy
Yeah.
that right.
Nearly Headless Nick leads us there.
Yeah.
From
So
the
it's like
Gryffindor. So I
little
wonder
stuff like that where it's kind of like they just
It's just slight changes.
if Hufflepuff is the fat friar and it's the
Grey Lady.
yeah.
I do know there is one side quest where you have to like use a map and you find like a picnic. Each house, depending on your house, you go to a different area in the Forbidden Forest. So, which is neat, but no, not crazy. So what is our favorite parts of the game so far? It can be anything. It can be spells. It can be combat, the story, whatever. We'll roll to find out. Ethan.
It's a two-part thing. So it's both the visuals. So the game is absolutely stunning.
Yes.
It is beautiful. It is just well rendered from imagination and the movies into a virtual reality.
They did a very good job taking what was already in the movies and like what we've
combining
already
it
seen.
with what's in the book,
Yes.
and then making it accessible, and then something that you can actually move through reasonably.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because the whole castle's fleshed out. It's not 1 inch of it really that's empty.
No.
And there's just so much of the castle. I mean, it's a castle. It's supposed to be big.
Yeah.
But that, and then the detail. Like, there's little things everywhere. The suits of armor.
Yep.
That's really interesting.
Every
Like,
time
it's
you
just-
walk past them, they like stand up straight.
Or
Oh,
like the two that are right next to each
yeah.
other from the Great Hall.
Yeah.
Like
They
they
always-
punching each other and whistling and stuff, and like they hate each other.
Beat
Yeah.
the shit out of each other and like dismember them.
Yeah, but it's always something different. I was really impressed that they had so many of the pictures moving and speaking, and those two gargoyles that right next to each other beside one of the classrooms, they like talk to each other all the time, and it's really kind of awkward. But because I'm like, where's that voice coming from? And then, yeah. The level of detail is just really crazy.
It is. And it's me. So I like a lot of the side quests. Like they've actually interested me as much, if not more, than the actual main story. Sebastian's side quest, trying to save. I don't know if you've how far
I
you
know his
got.
sister's sick. I don't know what it is.
Trying to save
so-
Anne.
Yeah.
And watching him go down this path of being a dark wizard, basically. That's how you end up learning the spells. Is
I
that
figure it because the next quest I have is to learn Confringio. It's like
Confringo?
Confringo. It's like go learn a curse with Sebastian is one of the main storyline quests. That's literally what it says.
It's not a yellow quest, it's a white quest. It's not
Yeah,
a yellow or
that-
gray, it's a white quest.
Yeah.
But like one of the main, it's like the purple box or whatever. It's like the checklist. It's
Yeah,
like
I have
do
that
this.
quest.
Second one, go learn a curse with Sebastian.
So the first one you learn is
Yeah.
Crucio.
Yeah.
And it's actually Ominous is there for it.
Oh.
Because this is spoiler territory for anybody listening, which if you're listening, you probably don't care. So you're going to like Salazar Slytherin's. He had like a secret room.
Another one.
Yes, another one that was specifically his, and it's blocked by this like a bunch of puzzles, and then it's blocked by a door to where you have to cast Crucio. So you have to have somebody else there, for one. Ominous's aunt went to find it. She did not take anybody with her, so she died. You actually see her skeleton on the floor. She leaves notes throughout the whole thing, basically, and you have to cast Crucio to break down the door. So that's where Sebastian asks you. And because Ominous is like, I'm not doing it. Fuck you. I don't believe in the dark arts. They're bad. I've been forced to use these. I'm not doing it. So basically, you get to choose. Do you want to cast it on Sebastian, or do you want Sebastian to cast it on you? And do you want to learn it whenever this happens, or do you not want to learn it? So you can refuse to learn it to start with, which I actually just found out today. If you refuse them after you beat the story or beat his quest line, you can find him in a secret room that he's taken you to, and you can actually have him teach you all of those anyway. So you still have the opportunity to learn them. But I don't know where I was going with that. That's how you learn it.
Yeah.
And it's Crucio first, and then Imperio's next, and then I'm assuming the next one I do, because I haven't actually got to that point yet, is about a dark. Yeah. But I think, honestly, the side quest, because, like, there's one, I don't know if you guys have met her yet, Poppy Sweeting. I don't think you guys have, because you haven't done Beast Class. That's where you meet her.
No, not yet.
I feel like I heard the name, but I might have heard it just somewhere else.
She's very, very, like, you get to see more of the beast with her, and that's part of what I like. I like to see those. Like, you actually get to save a dragon. And it's very neat. And then Natty is Natsai. Hers is good, but it's not. It's very combat heavy, I feel like. But I mean, it is like Ethan said, it's a stunning game. I like the fact that the side quests are as interesting as the main story. You don't feel like you just want to be like, I don't want to do those.
You can tell the people who made it really love the world that they're working with, just because they've put so much detail into like the side quests and the world and every little thing, even like the outfits, because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just really interesting.
I didn't realize you could change the way it looks.
Oh, you didn't realize you could transmog?
So I was just running around with like a fucking
mismatched shit.
Well, I had like a trucker's hat on with a fucking no, not even trucker's hat. It's like the for the cold.
Yeah.
I can't think of what they're actually called.
Oh, the fur hat?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like a fur hat with
called.
the ears hanging down, and then I had like dragon.
Ushanka. It's Ushanka hat.
I had
The
dragon
eye
glasses,
yeah. That looked stupid.
and I looked stupid as could be. Now I look badass, but that's
If you were in
because
Ravenclaw, it would have worked out if you you could be like a Lovegood.
Yeah.
So
And then Jarrett, do you have any favorite parts of the game? Being
That
a whole
opening?
8 hours in.
Yeah, the opening is like crazy. Just having the dragon attack out of nowhere, I was like, oh, I'm hooked. I'm in. I'm like, I'm ready.
and then the Thestrals show up. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, he died.
Yeah,
Wasn't
just
really
know.
out of nowhere, but
not out of nowhere, but you're like, I'm going along, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, yeah, this is a normal video game, and then it's like, that's a dragon.
It was pretty sudden.
it's sudden. But the farther you get in the story, the more you understand that it's
Well, yeah, I figured.
not as much.
I say out of nowhere, like in the scene,
conspiracy.
the dragon attacks, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Ranrock, who is the goblin,
Yeah.
while I understand he's supposed to be the big bad, it just doesn't feel like that. Which maybe it's just because I'm not far enough in the game yet. I just don't see a lot of him. I see more of his compatriots.
See, Rookwood and
Yeah.
what's his name?
Well, Ranrock's possibly supposed to be. I feel like there's something else behind it. And I haven't got through the story yet, so I mean, I don't know. But I feel like there's something else behind it.
I don't know. As far as I am, I don't think it is. I think Ranrock's supposed to be the big bad.
It's racist.
I'm not saying it because he's a goblin. I'm saying it because of shit I've seen.
Okay.
And then favorite characters, and I put / anybody would be sad to lose because you never know who could die.
Only 8 hours in. I don't give a shit about any of these people.
Okay. I do like Omnis a lot. I'll jump in and I just like him because I feel bad for him. Like as you go through, you'll start to learn like his family is very in line with Salazar. Like they agree with Salazar Slytherin that the dark arts should be taught, that purebloods are the better mages, and like they forced him to use Crucio on somebody, and he regrets it.
I haven't even met him yet.
You probably won't until you do like Sebastian's first
Yeah.
couple quests. He'll mention him like in passing. You meet him in Slytherin Common Room. You can actually go like talk to him beforehand. Ethan, any characters that you're obviously Poppy and Natty too. I don't want to lose, but
Well, yeah, Natty's pretty good. I haven't met Poppy yet, so I don't know. But Sebastian, I don't think they're going to lose him. But I like Sebastian's character. And then the old guy from the beginning, I forgot his name. Fig, yeah.
the professor,
Yeah. Miss Fig's ancestor, presumably.
Presumably.
Mrs. Fig.
I didn't even think about it. It could be though.
It's it's Fig.
I think it's spelled differently though.
F-I-G.
Yeah, I think in the book it's Figg. I think. Don't quote me on that, but could just be like a
I don't know.
Fluke.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, I like him a lot. I think he's cool. And of course, Professor Weasley. I like her.
Have you met Deke yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like he becomes more important after you get the room of requirement.
It's Dobby. I don't want to lose him.
Dobby.
I don't think he's kind of stays in the room requirement, so I don't think we will lose him. But I like him a lot.
Almost anyone else could die, and I wouldn't really
I just
flinch at it. Like, oh no! But because it's a story, and I know people are going to die. So
Least favorite characters. I put this on here because
Again,
I'm
only 8 hours in. I have not developed a relationship with any character.
That's understandable. Professor Black, don't like him.
Yeah, he's a cunt, but he's always been I knew that coming in. He was
full
gonna
on
be a
cunt.
He's supposed to be from the books. His painting is.
He's a fucking asshole all the time.
So again, spoiler alerts. When you're playing the game, there's a quest where you drink a polyjuice potion of him, and you walk around and you can pick the cuntiest answers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, several teachers come up to you, and they're like, "Oh, well, I was wondering about this," like, and you can just be like, "I don't care."
Break on.
Well, like the potions professor comes up, and he's like, "Oh, I've got this. I've got your potion ready." He's like, "Well, what is it?" It's like one of the options. He's like, "I don't think it should be discussed out here." He's like, "You can tell it," and it's like for boils. And Professor Weasley asks you for something, and you can like be like, "No, let Professor Fig have as much time off as he needs," and like so you can choose options that are both beneficial and funny.
Yeah. Everybody goes, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and you hear students like as you're walking through, they're like, "What's wrong with Professor Black? He seems weird." But my least favorite character is the Summoner's Court match. I can't remember. Morrison was her last name.
Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte. Charlotte Morrison. She is a Hufflepuff, I believe. Which may not be.
I've met her, but I haven't like talked. I've seen her. I'm like,
well, you play Summoner's Court, which is basically just you pull.
Yeah.
Which you guys have both done the flying mission now, so you can play Summoner's Court. And you pull it. If you fuck up in the slightest way and like she outscores you, like say you get to 30 and she gets to 50, because I think it goes 10, 30, 50.
It goes 10, 20, 30, 50, but yeah.
Okay. You get to 30 instead of 50, and she's on 50. She says she's such a cunt about it, and
I've never lost like.
I know why people made the mod where you can kill them now.
It's her.
I've never not got 50 on that, so I just never.
Well, it gets harder because now I've like there's shit in the way, and it like pulls your ball and it'll hit the fucking thing and bounces off.
It's funny that we both of us like our least favorite characters are going to be
our
students. Our students.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is bad because I should not like Ranrock or Rookwood, but Ranrock.
I can kind of understand Randrock.
Yeah.
Rookwood is a greedy guy, but I kind of can understand it a little bit. But like the kids, like why?
Yeah.
Well, I know kids are like that,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, why are you such a bitch? I don't know. I do like the Weasley guy though. I forgot about him. The Weasley student.
Oh yeah.
The one from Potions.
Yeah. His aunt is Professor Weasley.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him.
Yeah. You may not have met him yet.
No, I haven't met him.
Have you? Okay.
If you're Gryffindor, you literally meet him the first second you walk out of your room.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's him, Natty, and somebody else. I can't remember the third Gryffindor you meet.
Yeah,
you meet them three. They're like, go talk to these people.
He reminds me of Fred and George. Is what he reminds me of.
He's supposed to.
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to talk about our favorite spells and least favorite spells, if you have any. Do you know the last spell you got?
The last spell I got was Depulsio.
Okay, so it's got fairly a good amount of spells.
I have 8 spells.
That's pretty good. Have you unlocked? You probably haven't unlocked talents yet, have you?
I have.
You have? Okay.
You unlock them when you get to the map room.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, out of the 8 spells you have, what's probably your favorite?
Accio, Expelliarmus.
Okay.
Accio, because it's just like I pull shit and pull people to me, and then if I pull them, I'll Incendio. If I can't, I'll just Expelliarmus and fuck them up that way.
Gotcha. What about you, Ethan?
I really like the functionality of Protego and Stupefy together.
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, it's really neat because it's not one of the active spells you use. It's a reactionary thing, and then it's extended onto that. I think it's neat how they put it in there without having it like a part of your repertoire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's neat how they got some of the spells in without actually having to
And
make
to
them
choose
abilities.
a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally, I like the ancient magic spells. Like,
oh yeah, those are obviously
being able to throw
really
barrels at shit. Also, like using ancient magic is not a fucking unforgivable, but
Well, the part of it is like they are actual spells. Like from the world that aren't in the game that you're just using at random. So like whenever you see them like just like they disappear, that's reducto,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and like if you use it on a spider, you'll reducto and then you'll step on the
Yeah,
spider.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really neat how you do that. Or like when you get the certain talent, like you disarm somebody and then you could throw it back in their face.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Or you use it on some of the things that have the weapons and you just chop their head off with the weapon. Yeah,
Yep. It's great.
It's pretty cool.
The other ones that I find myself using the most is Confringo and Glacius. I usually use those together. Like hit them with Glacius, hit them with Confringo, and then usually follow that up with like a Defendo because that's like the blade, and you can get an upgrade later on to where that actually goes through multiple people. So you can Accio them all in, freeze the front one, and slice through all of them and set them on fire.
I do know what like is like the meta, like what's the best.
Yeah.
It's the transformation spell. I think it's just called the transformation spell, which lets you turn them into
Yeah, it's literally just transformation.
exploding barrels, and then you can just throw them.
Yeah, you can just pick them up and throw them off the world if you're high enough.
Well, that, but you can transform it into an exploding barrel, take one, throw it at another dude,
Yeah.
kill two people, and then like you do that with like Accio and
As far as least favorite, Winguardiam Leviosa. Because if you Accio, like if you have a Winguardiam Leviosa on it and you Accio something and you hold it long enough, so if you're not in combat, it will just do it on its own. So it's a waste of a slot to keep it in there, for one. That's why it's probably one of my least favorite.
I just don't even.
Really just using it early on to break any yellow shields you find. Like on like Dark Wizards
that's
and stuff.
Leviosa. There's Leviosa and then there's Winguardiam Leviosa. There's two different versions of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Because I thought it was
Because
weird.
there's Levioso,
Yeah.
which is your yellow spell.
Yep.
And then Winguardiam
There it is.
Leviosa, because there's
We know what it's supposed to be pronounced like. It's
I thought it-
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
I know,
I
but
thought it was weird that
there's
they
a
had.
Levioso, like
Levioso.
Oso,
Yeah.
and Leviosa.
I don't know what the difference is. What's the difference?
My couldn't tell you. I guess that
Leviosa you can't control.
yeah, it just like basically Levioso, it just pulls it straight up where it's at. It
levitates
just
them in the air.
levitates. Wingardium Leviosa, you can actually like pick it up and move it around.
That's probably the. Like they
That's
could
the biggest
roll
difference.
into a spell, but yeah.
It absolutely could have been rolled into a spell. I think that's my biggest problem with it.
I could have put it in a talent or something.
Yeah.
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 Could definitely like put it like on a.
Well,
talent
do you
to
need
have.
it for puzzles later on? That's why. It's not a talent. Like
I don't see why that would.
I think story based. Like unless they gave you the talent at some point.
So the Wingardium Leviosa, does it you have to concentrate on it like you do the Accio?
Yep. It'll be
Okay.
just like Accio.
All right. So the Levioso is just you
You
cast
hit
it
it.
and it works.
Yes.
So so I've gotten out of issues where I've gotten stuck in like a hole in a ruin or something like that. I've had to like lift something up to climb out, right?
Yeah.
So if I had Wingardium Leviosa instead of Levioso, it wouldn't have worked because I'd have to keep concentrating on it.
Yes.
So that's why it's different.
Yes.
Okay. I just was confused. I was so confused. It's magic.
It's yep. The next one I put did. Did only applies to me because I'm the only one far enough to actually do it. But will you choose to embrace the dark arts when you get them? Are you going to learn them? Are you going to use them?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a bad Gryffindor.
What about?
I
You're-
thought
you're
about being a
Slytherin.
good Slytherin, but what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Like, I want access to the things.
I
I'm more wanting access to Crucio and Imperio.
Oh, I look like a Potter, by the way.
I figured it.
I'm not going to tell you what I made mine to look like because it would be rude.
They're not as powerful as you think they are. The dark arts.
You haven't got to AK yet, so
I know that's the main thing I'm waiting on. Also, if you happen to notice, because your ancient magic, if you're playing on PC, it's X.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Is the big spell. It will take out. It's supposed to one shot people. If they have multiple health bars,
you have to take a health bar.
it'll take out a health bar. Avada Kedavra is the same way. If it has multiple health bars, it'll just take out the one. It's got a long ass cooldown, apparently.
That's why you got to take the talent lets you, like, when you basic cast it, lower your cooldown.
Yeah. And that's 100% one of them I'm going to take whenever I get there. I'm just waiting to unlock it.
But yeah, I will definitely I won't probably use the other two very much, but I'll definitely, once I get AK,
it's going in there. I've basically got I've got Crucio and Imperio on. I have 4 spell slots, or 4, like,
it's 4 levels.
yeah, unlocked. And so I'm going to have all 3 of them laid on different ones.
Yeah.
And then, you talked about being a good Slytherin. I'm a terrible Slytherin in the sense of I am bad at being a Slytherin. I went and did a side quest for a character and brought it to him, and I was like, oh yeah, you can have this back for monies. And they said something along the lines of like, you would really try to get money out of me for doing this?
And you were like,
and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't. Here, you can have it.
Oh,
It made me feel so. It was like a second year.
Yeah, so you're supposed to do like, yeah, you dumb
oh,
poor.
was it the kid who wanted the venomous tentacular leaf?
No, it wasn't.
Because I kept the leaf. I was like, nah,
Did you?
it's mine. I went and got it. I'm not going to give it to that guy.
That's great.
What a loser.
No, but I think he did it as well. The kid I'm thinking of was, she was playing some game.
Gobstones.
Yeah, and she wanted the
There's
gobstones.
only like 3 games in
Yeah.
the Wizarding Chest, Gobstones, and Exploding Snap.
She wanted her gobstones back, and I was like, "You can have it for some money." And she was like, "Da da da da," and I was like, "All right, fine, you can have it back."
Yeah, apparently Gobstones is like a kid's game. Like,
Well,
it's like
see, Gobstones,
it's like marbles. And
Yeah.
Gobstones is marbles, but when you fail at it, they squirt you with stinking liquid.
Yeah,
I gave them back because I don't want stinking liquid balls. Okay? I just don't want them out of my pocket.
yeah.
And I felt bad for her because she didn't have any friends because she's trying to play Gobstones.
Yeah, and it keeps shooting. And she's apparently really good in beating everybody, so
it
everybody's
keeps-
getting sprayed.
Yeah, nobody wants to play with her, obviously, because they're getting squirted with sewage. I mean, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
This must be before Gobstone Club exists.
Must be.
Because it exists in the time of Harry goes to school.
So next up, are we doing all of the side quests or just the main ones? I'm doing all of them that I can. So like when I see them, I usually grab somebody, and
That's why it's taken me so long is...
because you're doing all the side quests.
And then I find more side quests when I go somewhere else. And
Yep.
I'm like, oh, look, tangents.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do them as long as they don't become like tedious. If it gets to the point where I'm like, all right.
Usually they're not multiple.
Yeah.
So like the story based ones are the only ones that have you do like multiple things. As far as like other side quests, it's like go do this and you're done.
The only ones I really put off are maps. And then when I get to an area, I think it's going to be like... I usually just... Any game that has maps, I go and do maps all at one time. And just
Get it all done.
get it all done.
Understandable.
So I collect several of them.
Is there anything specific? Or no, I skipped one. Will you be replaying the game? So this is more so of the fact that Gryffindor gets more side quests. Hufflepuff gets to go to Azkaban. Are we going to replay it just to experience those? Are we going to replay it to experience the whole game? Or
I'll be replaying it to experience little things like going to Azkaban, seeing
the common rooms?
the common rooms, getting to work with nearly the snake instead of the poor little Slytherin kid who is decapitated ghost boy. All right, but yeah, I'll be doing it just enough to get those, but nothing else.
Yeah. Jarrett, are you going to replay it?
Yeah, I'll probably replay it to get to the Hufflepuff.
Azkaban quest?
But that's probably all I'll replay.
I'm the same. I will probably play it there. It's taken quite a bit of time already, so I would rather not do entirely too much.
You're a child.
I am a child.
Jarrett just made a dick and balls out of some headphones that we have laying around. And then to get us back on track, by the way, the title of this is going to be Headphone Dick and Balls.
There you go. You're welcome.
I don't think it actually will be that, but it might be.
Come on now.
Do we think they're going to do any DLC, and what do we want out of that DLC?
They said that they're not going to.
They said
That story DLC, they had no plans for it.
Okay.
They may change their mind. They may not.
I feel like they probably will.
Or they may just go right into a second game.
I would like to see a second game where
You're like a 6th year.
No, not Hogwarts.
Oh, you want to see like a different.
Transfer, bitch.
Well, either another school or just something like you're an Auror, something like that, where you're actually going out into the world of the wizarding world and going to different places like Godric's Hollow, Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
All those different places that you would like to go to.
You mentioned different school. I would like that personally because
Go to Bull Battens.
well, like Natty talks about where she's from, and they don't cast with wands.
Yeah, which is
They also all
I have issues with some of the lore stuff they're doing.
they also all become.
This is my shadow at war or Mordor. Mordor.
Dumbledore did, and Voldemort did.
Yeah, you have to be
magic without
super
wands.
powerful.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Or is that just
As the canon is stated.
Hogwarts like trying to be like, you
propaganda.
have to have a wand.
Propaganda,
You have to have a wand.
It's probably the ministry propaganda.
Probably.
To try and get people to. That's what it's a government conspiracy.
Yeah.
Government cheese.
Ollivanders is paying that money to the ministry, and they're saying, "Yep, you have to have a wand." Lobbying is what we call that.
Yep, that's why wands are 10 galleons or whatever they are.
It's probably it's probably I think
Yeah,
it's
but
a
you got-
government I think it might be a government conspiracy to say that you have to have a wand to do magic. Make people believe that so that you can use Expelliarmus on people. Because if you're just using your hands, what's going to do? Like rip your hands off?
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
just the damage.
Just do damage? I don't think it actually does damage in the books.
It doesn't, but in the game, that's what it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yep, it does. And it's good too.
Yeah, it is.
Are there any mods that we want to see or are going to download? I've already said I'm downloading the one that lets me kill all the teachers and students because I am.
I'm not at that level of hate yet, so I don't really care.
I'm getting there. You know the one girl who does all the like broom tracks and stuff
Oh,
like that?
Imelda.
Imelda? I love Imelda.
She I would kill her immediately.
She was a little cunty.
She's in
to
my
me.
way.
Okay.
She's a little cunty the first time you meet
Yeah,
her.
the first like track and the first time you meet her too, because I met her in the Southern Common Room and she was kind of like cunty there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but near the end of all those like broom tracks and everything, she gets a little more not as cunty.
She was bad enough to me, like the Gryffindor guy who does the Asio.
Yeah.
Like bad enough to me, or Morrison, right? Bad enough to me that I wouldn't use Avada Kedavra. I would drown them in water, like with my hands.
You would augmente their lungs and like.
No, he's saying he would just
I would
physically
hold their
murder.
head down.
Oh, that's. yeah, that would equate the same thing essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
I know people are working on a multiplayer mod so that you can bring friends into your game and basically go through the story with them. That would be neat.
Something that changes the way the controls work while you fly, because that's one of my biggest complaints about this game. Anything else, the combat's fun, the world looks great, it's really nice, the puzzles are fun. The flying mechanics on PC are not great. You can get used to it. It works fine if you get used to it, but at first, the controlling the pitch and yaw with not your mouse, not fun.
Well, that's the other problem is you can't look around.
Yeah.
So like
The camera, I want a camera mod is what I want.
you guys haven't got to the part where you can actually fly on the beast. So I'm flying on a hippogriff.
Same thing.
And I'm trying to look. Yeah, you're trying to look around and you can't. They're actually a little bit harder to control. So if I'm somewhere where I don't have to fly very far, I think they fly faster than the broom from the way it feels. I can't confirm or deny that. Just feels. They feel like they fly faster, but they're harder to control
I also want a little
as
bit.
far as like stopping.
I also want a little bit. I want the camera to be a little bit further back. I know it's third person.
Yeah.
I want it further back from that.
To be able to choose the distance.
like on Skyrim.
Yeah.
When you play in third person, you can hit V and then pull your mouse back, and it changes how far back the camera is from the character.
Yep.
And it's so much better in certain situations. And if you're flying, especially, you want to be able to move your camera around. You want to be able to look. You want your camera a little bit back so you have a bigger field of view.
Yeah.
And the field of view, like bar, I've tried it out. It doesn't actually do that much.
Gotcha. And then I put beasts in the game. I was just going to talk about any of the beasts in the game that you guys have seen, but you guys haven't really ran into any yet because you're still.
I've seen a puff skin.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see those fairly early.
I ran across
And a cat.
Niffler.
That's a Neasel.
Is it a Neasel?
Oh, well, was it a cat like in the
I don't know. It didn't have like a thing. It just was like a gray looking cat.
that you could pet?
Yeah, it was a Neasel.
That is an actual cat.
Okay.
That's not a Neasel. A Neasel's like a larger cat.
I've seen a Neasel. I flew over it. No, went away from it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So once you get the rumor requirement, after you do like a few more things.
Puffskin, I've seen Puffskin. I've seen a Niffler. I like literally like LeviosAH'd it and just hit it till it like flew off. And then what else was it? It's the water things, the weird lizard things with the tongues.
That's
Kelpie?
an enemy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bog something.
4:18 p.m.
God damn it!
2 for 2.
It's something about
bitch.
as I cross my arms, it likes to hit.
But other than that, they're all pretty well detailed and good.
Yeah.
So far, I haven't done like Care of Magical Creatures yet, so I don't know.
Yeah. Once you get into that,
Also.
I think it's after you do the beast class and get the rumor requirement, you get the like. It's Deke calls it a knapsack, and you can literally go and.
It's Newt's briefcase.
It absolutely is.
I can't remember exactly what the technical term is, but it's the same thing.
They call it a knapsack.
It's a pocket plane.
It's literally you just get it's where you keep all your beasts at, right?
Well, you get rooms that you let them out in.
Yeah.
Because you have to actually like feed and pet them to get stuff from them, because that's how you upgrade your gear later on.
Do you get a Niffler?
Yes.
Does it make money?
No.
Should.
Can you take it out and like throw it at people and it steals all their money?
That'd be fun.
The way that I got it was stealing from somebody.
Neat.
So, and you find it like on a pile of gold.
See, where I found the Niffler I found was just out. It was like down a cliff from Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
There's just a tree there, and it's got all sorts of money around the tree, and he's like living in the roots of the tree. So I just it was like in the middle of like a pond. So I just walked up to it and just was like, Leviosa. Whack, 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 whack.
Yeah, you could have caught that.
Well, I don't have a thing.
I know, but
Yeah.
later on you could have caught that. Also, now that you've said where it is, I'm going to go catch it because maybe it'll be a female and my other
It's
one's gonna be a
down the
male.
tracks. So
You can mate them so that you can get more of their fur, feathers, whatever.
It's the tracks north of Hogsmeade, and if you just go north along the tracks, it's on the left.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find it. And you guys haven't upgraded any gear, so it doesn't matter.
No, but I see all the things. It's like anything rare or blue or up can get an upgrade on it, right?
Yes, anything blue or up. If it's blue, it is you can do like a level 1 upgrade.
Yeah.
If it's purple, it's level 2, and yellow or gold
I've
is level
unlocked
3.
upgrades, but I can't do it yet.
Yeah.
I thought it was really weird. I had like 4 pieces of yellow gear before I had a piece of purple gear.
That's not that weird.
It's weird. It's just weird. I was like,
It's weird in the gameplay sense, but it's not that weird.
Yeah.
Like in the way the world works.
My brain was like, did they fuck this up? Is there no purple gear? Is there like, did they skip a thing? I'm like, because I hadn't seen any.
No, it just happens.
You didn't mention the rumor of requirement on here. On your
I
list
didn't.
here.
That's partially because I didn't think you guys were there.
We are not.
It is. You can unlock it.
I said we are not there.
I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. It comes like right after
Oh, it must be.
the broom quest thing.
I think, yeah.
You have to go talk to Weasley.
Oh,
You talk to
that,
Professor Weasley. She takes you up there.
that is the first thing on my list to do.
Gotcha. She gives you the room requirement. It's very small to start off with. Basically teaches you how to use some of the like conjuration spells to conjure the stuff that you need in the room.
So you'll need another spell list.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
You
will.
get rid of those. You put them in your list whenever you're in that room using it. And then other than that, you say, fuck this. I don't care.
You need another list. You can get so many lists. It
I
doesn't
have
matter.
all 4.
Okay.
And I don't leave that one in my list. All 4 of mine are completely battle related.
There's more than 4.
No, there's only 4.
There's 4.
There's 4 levels. That's all you get.
There's 4 lists that you get for spell books.
No, there's like 6 of them. Yeah, there is.
There's 4, bud. I've unlocked all 4. You talking about like how you unlock them from the talents?
Mm-hmm.
There's 4.
Yeah, but there's 6 on that page.
There may be, but
You can, unlock
you can
them.
only use
There's
4.
another way to unlock them because I've seen other people videos where they've got that many.
Maybe that's a mod because
Maybe it is.
I'm
That needs to be. If
It
it's
does
not,
need to
it
be.
needs to be because there's a lot of spells. So
Yeah, but a lot of them you don't use.
Yeah, I was like, I'll probably end up using about 8
Like I said,
spells.
I don't use Winguardiam Leviosa anymore because I just Accio it until it does it on its own. There's no point in not having it, but I need Accio for casting as people. I don't leave Reparo, and I don't leave Lumos or what's the
Disillusionment.
Yeah, Disillusionment.
See, that's one I think I'd leave on just in case you get like.
So I switch out like Disillusionment, Reparo, Lumos, and something else that
especially
I need.
early on when you're collecting all those pictures in Hogwarts.
Yeah, early on, yeah, I used it all the time.
Lumos all the time.
I used it all the time early on, but now that I'm far enough in, I don't. Yeah. I use it whenever I'm like going into fights, but I switch that out.
I prefer it if you could do like a mage light thing, where you just throw it up and
yeah,
because they do that on Harry Potter too. So,
gotcha.
But the room requirements, like, it's kind of nice because it's really customizable, and you can put anything you want in there.
Yep, and
design how you want.
If you didn't know, you use the what's it called? It's like the little magic stones that you find out that you basically cast to break them down. You use that.
Moonstone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Use the moonstone. If you take like all the pictures that are in there, you can actually destroy those and get your moonstone back, like get more moonstone, so that you can just keep building stuff if you need to. That's what I've been doing instead of actually running around collecting it. So the other thing I didn't have on here, what complaints do we have about the game? Because it's a new game, there's going to be complaints.
Don't love the flight mechanics like Ethan. Like they're just weird.
Yes. They are weird.
Really clunky.
Now, we did mention that. I think we mentioned like frame dropping on occasion.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's certain.
It's a very graphically demanding game.
Yeah,
like
it's memory demanding.
Oh, is it?
Yes, because anytime I go into a loading screen, like my memory is maxed, and then as soon as I go into a loading screen, it tanks. Like it'll drop down to like 4,000, and then as soon as the gameplay starts, it jumps back to the top. As far as usage.
I think the place where I noticed it the most was in the crossed wands dueling.
Yeah.
As soon as you jump into the duel and it starts, I would always get like a huge frame drop in there, and it was like right as the combat started every time.
I never got that.
The
I don't know what it was.
only time that I have gotten frame drops is right after like fast traveling somewhere.
Yeah.
As soon as as soon as I fast travel and it starts to load, it will give me frame drops no matter where I'm at.
How much RAM do you have?
32 gigs.
Right.
I have 64, so.
But you're still having frame drops too, right?
It was more like
I have 32 now. So
when I got sorted, it like really got really bogged down.
That's what I've heard from a lot of people is that
And I don't know if that was a graphics card thing or a memory thing. I'm feeling like it's a graphics card thing. It was just like,
yeah.
and then it was like on fast forward for like a half second to like catch back up, and then it was fine.
Yeah.
That's like I've only had that happen like once.
I've heard many people say that they have issues like right after the sorting hat.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of updates for optimization.
There will.
So I'm not thinking that it's a permanent issue. I think it's going to be like a lot of games where you're going to have some frame issues early on just because the game isn't as well optimized as it could be. There's probably some hiccups here and there in the coding, but I think that it'll clear up over time. So it's not really that big of a deal, to be honest.
It's not game breakingly bad. Like you can't play the game.
Right. Exactly.
It's no Cyberpunk.
They fixed that.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I really don't have any other issues outside those two.
I don't either. Like
some control issues are kind of funky.
It was like weird. Like I had to rebind dodge.
I rebind all that.
Because
Anyway.
fucking control is way too goddamn far away from my pinky.
Eh.
Now you say that it's like it's such an unnatural move. You have to move your hand. You have to twist your hand pretty much to get there.
I mean, in most games,
if you played enough, control is bound to a lot of things in a lot of games, and you get used to it. But it is more of a reach than even shift. And I know it's like right above shift, but it's still more of a
reach. You do have to reach more.
It's further than I would have liked for dodge.
I mean, I rebound it to my mouse, so
yeah, I rebounded to E, so that way, just up there with my.
I rebind everything.
I do too. Yeah. I rebound So like you use F to like get into rooms and do everything. I use E.
I use E.
I hate when it's F.
My tab is always my inventory open. So
Yeah.
I changed that. So like my throw button is actually Q now. My Protego is my thumb on my mouse button.
Gotcha.
And then, so I mean,
I did my thumb on my mouse button is dodge, and then the front thumb button is the Wiggenweld potion because I just kind of assumed I would need that more often. I could change that now.
Yeah. Story mode. I don't think you need it.
Well, I didn't realize they were gonna give me 45. They only give you 25, but I can find it, which maybe it's because I'm on story. I can find a Wiggenweld potion anytime I want.
Yeah, it's on story.
well, I picked Q for the throw because more often than not on games, like Q is a grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also don't use any of the Q stuff at all. I haven't.
Really?
No.
Q is set to Protego.
Not Q. I meant the tab.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
It comes into play later on.
Yeah. The Mandrake's very useful.
Yes.
Very useful.
The
And you can grow them yourself, so it doesn't fucking matter.
chomping cabbages are good too.
I have those. I just never use them.
Well, I mean, the Venomous Tentacula is fine too. I mean, it works just fine.
All right. So that's everything we have to talk about for Hogwarts Legacy. We got about an hour out of it. That's pretty good.
Pretty solid.
So as always, you can use the link in the description to go to our Discord and join us there while we talk about murdering school children.
You're actually taking out of my time today.
I know.
play this
It's
game?
taken out of mine too. Don't blame me. I mean, it is my fault, but
It is.
I'm here too, is what I'm trying to say. So join us on the Discord, talk shit about the bratty little school kids. And you can also go to anchor.fm/chaotically-nerdy and you will find links to the Discord there. You also find links to our Facebook page, and that'll wrap everything up. We appreciate you listening and hope you will join us for the next one as well.
Adios.
Go.